Hi everyone, my name is Jones, and this is my presentation on Fireground technology advancement and fire drones. Now, this presentation will go hand in hand with my applied project in fire drones that I will present to the Gila River Fire Department Fire Chief, Ms. Kathy Garcia. Little backstory is I am a full-time firefighter for the Gila River Fire Department, have been for over 3 years now. This applied project pertains to me finishing my graduate degree at ASU for the spring of 2025 in emergency management and homeland security. I look forward to showcasing this presentation as fire drones is a thing of the future for many fire departments that have already adopted this strategy for the past couple years. I ask that you be patient with me and explore all the different types of options that we can contribute to this fire department as well as many throughout the nation. So why fire drones? Fire drones are not simply just a tool that I would like to invest in and put on an engine that we don't really use. Fire drones are going to be a thing of the future if they're not already. Many departments have already used them throughout the nation and have shown progress with their different type of operations that they've used them for. Fire drones simply are there to protect the life of firefighters and the public, to prevent the line of duty death and the line of duty injuries that can happen. Much of what we learn in the fireground or the firefighting world is why we do everything is based off of someone else that has hurt themselves or has lost their life in the line of duty. Fire drones are a true investment to use because they allow a different picture than what we can gather from our own naked eye. They house what we have on the fire engines as a thermal imaging camera. To be able to put this in a bird's eye view of an operation allows for a wider picture of the operation and a better strategy to be sent out. A lot of the times, from my experience, is that we are going into a situation where we don't fully understand, and we usually find the errors later after the situation if we're lucky. Okay, so for fire drones, we understand that they're there to help us out with our personnel and as well as the public to prevent loss of line of death or even injury. But understanding what we can use them for and the different types of scenes means we must understand that we're going into a number of scenes. Now, they can be used for different types of operations, whether it's a commercial or residential fire, whether it's a hazardous materials operation, a search and rescue operation, wildland brush fires, or even motor vehicle accidents. Using these drones on these scenes means that they would be a tool that would be used frequently from the fire apparatus, and it would be one that would be beneficial to all operations because we're not only getting a 360 or a full bird's eye view of the scene, but we're seeing more than what we can see with just our eyes. We're getting different types of capabilities with a thermal imaging camera, understanding the different types of data and GIS systems that are going to be incorporated with it, understanding that we can map out a scene, understanding that this is the water lines, these are the hydrants, these are the electrical, understanding this is the fiber optics. Being able to see much more than what we can now would allow us to have a smoother transition to the scene, faster response, and overall just better operations and taking care of our personnel and taking care of the public. Okay, so now I want to showcase what we can actually do on scene with our fire drones. Just like earlier, we respond to the wildland brush fires. We respond to commercial or residential fires, as well as hazardous materials incidents. I like this video because it shows what we can do, whether it's with the engine or the battalion chiefs that help respond with us on scene of an incident. The video is really well put together. So it showcases a plant of some sort. We see an incident starts to pop off with fire. Now, approaching a scene like this, we might not understand what's going on or what type of hazards are at play or what's really burning. This fire looks very intense, a lot of heat coming from it. See a little bit of a suppression system right there that's going off. This would be one of our responding engines with the battalion chiefs coming from the rear. We're getting out to get ready to deploy a hose line, possibly uh, attached to a hydrant or a water supply. As we see, the battalion chiefs right here are trying to come up with a game plan, but they can't really get a full 360. So right here, they just break out their drone, which is roughly a handheld size. They could deploy it strictly right from their hand. And much of these drones are autonomous, which would allow it to avoid certain objects where right here it's almost a cluster of different pipes and different obstructions in the way, but it would allow them to get a full 360 view of the scene, as well as using the thermal imaging camera that showcases the different types of heat signatures we're getting from this fire. And this is important to get in to any scene, especially this one. We might not understand what could be possibly burning, so we might need to bring this drone in closer so we can get a better view of whether there's some type of chemicals or other hazards at play in the scene. Firefighters will perform the operations. The drone showcases exactly what you're seeing. He's got a tablet that's displaying it and relaying it back to dispatch so they could see. They could then respond with more units or more resources that might be needed for the scene. So I really like this video because this is exactly what we can use on the Fireground scene for the Hilly River Fire Department. Much of our scenes, whether they're hazardous materials, whether there's wildland brush fires or fires, we could use this 360 bird's eye view, as well as having the capability of a thermal imaging camera, which allows us to see much more than what we can, especially if it's a scene like that where it's really hot. We might not be able to get in close. There's so much danger to be that is unknown, and we might not want to risk our personnel. Then we would deploy our fire drone. Okay, so for when it comes to fire drones and using them on the scene, we have to understand we're still going to have to follow a different type of procedure and policy. Much of the procedures and policies we follow are going to be under the Phoenix Volume 2s, which is the Phoenix Regional Standard Operating Procedures. This one is a fairly new one based on their fire drone deployment program that they used within the past couple years. Now, this outlines the different types of situations or operations they might use it for, which is similar to us. Structure fires, whether it's mountain rescues, hazardous material operations, brush fire operations, planned training events, and non-emergent operations. This policy goes into describe the different types of rules and regulations one would have to follow, as well as the certifications that you're going to need in order to operate it. Now, this will all depending on the jurisdiction you're at, but even with the DJI Enterprise website, it showcases the different types of verifications that you might have to go through in order to operate this. And based on their fire drone deployment program, they'll be able to help us out with that later down the road. Okay, so for the different types of makes and models of drones that are out there are going to vary depending on what type of company we might want to invest in. One of the most promising is going to be the DJI Enterprise models that come from their website. I really like their website because they showcase different types of makes and models that have been used for different fireground strategies. We got 3 makes and models right here that I've included. The first one being a small handheld sized device, the second one being a fairly larger unit, and the third one being a mix of both. Now, all of these units house a thermal imaging camera, which helps out with fireground operations, but they all have different types of specs, capabilities, and attachments we can add to them later down the road. But what's important about these models is they all come with what's known as a docket station, which is showcased over here on the right. These docking stations allow for a faster deployment, allow for a recharge of the battery, and are easily mountable with the brackets underneath. You can attach this to the battalion chief's ride, attach this to the fire engine apparatus on the top side. This will allow for faster response, faster relay of information to dispatch or to battalion chiefs, and overall better fireground strategy. Okay, so for the investment in the different types of fire drones out there, just like earlier, there's going to be different types of makes and models and different types of companies. One of the most promising one is going to be from this website with DSLR Pros, I really like their packages that they offer because they offer different types of drone packages that also consist of a lot of drones from the GGI Enterprise website. Um, a lot of these drones are package deals because they serve first responders, whether it's firefighters or PD officers. A lot of the same search and rescue type operations or just operations in general. As far as for funding, I would like to continue with this package, which is going to be the DSLR Thermal Drone Starter Pack. This is relatively one of the lowest cost packages, but it does house a thermal imaging camera for the drone, which would allow us to showcase the capabilities we can conquer with the fire drone on scene. If we invest in just one drone and showcasing it for the next several months, then we could see uh, better operations play out, faster response, and then further consideration would probably go into months later down the road with any one of these other bundles that might suit not just for a single engine, but for all the engines or even the battalion chiefs to be mounted on top. All these different types of packages comes with different types of capabilities. Some come with docking stations, some come with a lot more battery time, which means more flight time for the drones. But as far as capabilities, there's so many to choose from, and it just would really depend on what would be our needs on scene for the fire drones. Okay, so thank you for being patient with me, but I think it's really important to showcase this video as it's one of the DJI models with its docking station, showing the different capabilities from the drone and opportunities that we can use it for. It's a relatively short video.
Each day, no matter how ordinary, is supported by those who protect us, near and far. When challenges push the boundaries of time and space, a brand new, more powerful partner, DJI Dock 3, rises to the occasion. DJI Dock 3 and the specially designed Matrice 40 series drones feature significantly upgraded hardware protection. The dock operates smoothly from scorching 50 degrees Celsius heat to frigid -30 degrees Celsius cold, ensuring reliable performance in both summer and winter. Even in strong winds of up to 12 meters per second, the drones can remain airborne for up to 32 minutes. DJI Dock 3 is the first DJI dock. Each day, no matter how ordinary, is supported by those who protect us, near and far. When challenges push the boundaries of time and space, a brand new, more powerful partner, DJI Dock 3, rises to the occasion. DJI Dock 3 and the specially designed Matrice 40 series drones feature significantly upgraded hardware protection. The dock operates smoothly from scorching 50 degrees Celsius heat to frigid -30 degrees Celsius cold, ensuring reliable performance in both summer and winter. Even in strong winds of up to 12 meters per second, the drones can remain airborne for up to 32 minutes. DJI Dock 3 is the first DJI dock that supports vehicle-mounted deployment. With dual docks on one vehicle, the drones are ready to take off as soon as the covers are open. A single drone can fly forward for 54 minutes or operate for 18 minutes within a 10-kilometer radius, so one person can handle long distance, low frequency, or emergent operations. For fixed-mounted deployment, dock site selection is now more flexible. By installing the new DRTK3 Relay fixed deployment version at an elevated location, whether in city streets with tall buildings or near communication towers, the signal quality of video transmission is ensured, enhancing operational safety. The Matrice 40 series drones are compatible with the DJI RC Plus 2 Enterprise for manual operations and allow one drone to hover as a relay while the other flies further for operations. Cross-mountain inspections are now just as smooth as those conducted on flat ground. The Matrice 40 series drones can be used with obstacle sensing module for precise inspections of substations with intricate layouts. They can also achieve high-speed, wire-level obstacle avoidance during inspections for complex power line crossings. Visible light cameras have seen major enhancements with improved foreground stabilization, whether it's a pin 10 meters away or a sign as far as 250 meters in the distance, it's all clearly visible. As night falls, powerful infrared and night vision capabilities become crucial for rescues. The Matrice 4D series has added the night scene mode, enabling night vision in both full color and black and white. Matrice 4TD also has an NIR auxiliary light, covering distances up to 100 meters. Its infrared thermal camera accurately detects heat sources with UHR infrared image. These advanced features enhance rescue operations, facilitating valuable insights in the event of an emergency. Multiple intelligent features significantly enhance DJI Dock 3's automation and efficiency. The Matrice 4D series drones support 5-directional oblique capture, as well as terrain following, even in rugged, complex environments. The drones automatically collect data to generate high-precision 3D models in Flight Hub 2.
And so we see a lot of the different capabilities that are just with the DJI Dock 3 model. What I really want to point out is that these drones have been out for a number of years now, and a lot of the issues that they had, the tweaks that needed to be made, are fixed now, and we see out a lot of the capabilities that are much more than what we're used to right now. But understanding that we can use these for our benefit, whether it's pre-planning, whether it's operating, whether it's just search and rescue operations, it's very essential that we invest in it now rather than later. At least training our personnel to get the certifications, as well as showing them what it's like to handle the equipment. And then we could then progress to having them on all of our apparatuses, or being able to use them on pretty much all the number of scenes that we go to. Understanding that we're trying to risk little when it's trying to come to savable lives, property, and trying to keep our personnel safe, as well as serving the public the best way we can, means we should invest in different types of tools and advancements that come around with the Firegrounds. And this is one of them. This is one of the ones that we really should invest in, and I can see as it being one of the future tools that we do have, as well as many other fire departments throughout the nation. I thank you for hearing me out throughout this presentation. I know it's been a rough one, but I appreciate it, and I would really appreciate a strong consideration for fire drones for the Hill River Fire Department, as well as a follow-up whether of the letter of intent that I've included with this applied project. And I thank you for your time and consideration. Best, Jones.